welcome to another edition of the Halloween Hootenanny. Tonight, expect the unexpected as we delve deeper into the darkest reaches of the human psyche. We begin tonight's episode with a little incident involving a toad. Yes, a toad had got in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was Halloween 1974. I was digging through a mound of earth in the garden with a pitchfork when all of a sudden I heard a squelch, a short, sharp pop, followed by a feeling of wetness, like I'd just popped a balloon filled with water. I pulled the pitchfork out of the ground, and there, skewered on the end of one of the prongs, was this big, fat, plump toad, its limbs writhing about, as if it was trying to swim through mid-air. I held it there for a moment, frozen in time, the toad dangling helplessly off the end of that pitchfork, like a green, four-legged marshmallow with a gaping hole in its midriff. I tried everything I could think of to shake that toad loose without resorting to killing it right there and then. I tried shaking the pitchfork, scraping it off with a stick. I thought maybe if I dunked it in water, the toad would swim right off somehow. But that sorry green creature would not budge. Eventually, I managed to slide with the help, trying not to think about how much agony that it must have been in, feeling every inch of that rusty metal spike. Once off, it took a moment to collect itself, then limped off into the undergrowth, dragging its insides behind it, like a fleshy bridal train. The fate of that toad remained a mystery, and after some thorough research, I managed to reassure myself that amphibians recovered at a notoriously phenomenal speed, with little to no permanent damage, no matter how big the puncture wound. But that night I was restless. I had visions of that toad crawling out of the undergrowth in the dead of night looking for revenge. I woke up and the room was icy cold, and there it was, the toad, stood at the foot of my bed, staring at me. I hid under the covers and fell back asleep, but no sooner had I drifted off than my alarm went off. I woke again in a cold sweat. The toad still sat at the foot of my bed. I escaped as fast as I could to the shower. A nice cold shower would do the trick, I thought. But there it was, waiting for me in the shower. That mangled toad with its gaping, gushing stomach. I ran outside, but everywhere I looked, there it was, staring. It had me cornered. It started to approach me. It was an accident, I pleaded. I didn't mean it. But the toad wasn't listening. It kept coming forward. I backed off as far as I could, until I walked into the pitchfork. I knew the end was near. I accepted my fate and plunged the fork deep into my stomach. Now it's fair to say that it's not easy to stab yourself with a pitchfork, but I gave it a good go. And as the grass ran red beside me, the toad stood over me and declared that I was forgiven.
Is this me? Well. Well, I suppose he won't make that mistake again. There's a lesson in that for all of us, isn't there? Respect the toad! Our next entry tonight comes from a family favorite. Everyone's favorite Halloween seasonal clown. Petal has a special message for all of us at this time of year. Over to you, Petal.
Mummy? 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 Mummy, can we go home now?
No, I shan't do it. I shan't do it. No, you can't make me. You can't make me.
Well, wasn't that fun? Yes. Lots of fun to be had at the circus, isn't there? Our next installment comes from the minds of Philip Jones and Philippa Mannion in Cardiff, otherwise known as PPE. Phil and Phil Entertainment. You know, PPE is rather lacking, I hear, in the modern world. Back in my day, there was no such thing to prevent me from dying of whooping cough. Over to you.
Hi guys, it's Lily. It's your favorite sound tech, the sample mistress, yours truly. How is your lockdown week going? I am so grateful. Thank you so much for joining me this week. So we're gonna carry on our journey to dig through some amazing songs and recordings. Someone got in touch recently with this set of interviews from an old relative, like recording like oral history. First, we are gonna give the audio cleanup. I've got these new monitor speakers. Let's rock and roll, people.
I had a twin called Bronwyn. She disappeared when we were 3. I don't remember much from childhood, but I remember our beds, and I remember being cold after she disappeared because we slept in the same bed, you see.
Oh my god, guys. This actually might be quite a sad one.
Of course, the police were involved. This is all stuff I learned afterwards. My parents never talked about Bronwyn. That was how folks dealt with their troubles then. I don't think that was a good thing. I would have liked to have talked about Bronwyn. But like I said, she just wasn't a topic of conversation. So after my mother died, there was this box of newspaper clippings about cultists operating in the village along the way. It seems the police had made the link, you know, between Bronwyn disappearing and this cult.
Whoa. Oh my god. That's creepy. There's totally some weird stuff going on. There's something embedded in the audio. Yeah, let's try and isolate that. Okay. Okay, that's really creepy. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna just mark that bit and come back to it later.
Well, you can imagine what that did to me, you know. This was something buried in my family, so deep.
Oh, I can totally tidy this bit here. Yeah. Did you guys hear that? It's like, it sounds like my name? Is that my name? Okay, that's pretty freaky. Is this some kind of prank? Yeah, that's definitely my name. What's the name of the person that sent me this? Well, whoever it was, he got me. There's still quite a bit left, so I guess we'll carry on.
We had moved around. I never really settled. It's like we were trying to outrun this tragedy. I thought, why Bronwyn? Why would they take Bronwyn and not me? I felt guilty. I figured if I got to the bottom of what happened, maybe I could finally settle. I hired a private investigator. That was something I thought only happened in American movies, but turns out they're here too. He does his research on this cult, this demented set of people. They believed in this demon called Lilith. And they thought it was going to be them who would manifest this Lilith back on Earth.
I didn't tell it to play it again. What?
I'm only telling you this because I want you to know how warped these people are.
This is terrible. None of this is stopping.
They said Lilith was Adam's first wife in the Garden of Eden, made from the same clay. They thought if they could get their hands on a baby girl made the same way, a man and woman split, just like me and Bronwyn, twins split in the womb.
No, I don't like this. I'm gonna shut it all down.
If they could get that, then they could repopulate the whole world with Lilith's offspring, obedient to Lilith.
Computer won't turn on. What the hell?
So in the end, there never was enough evidence to tie them to Bronwyn disappearing.
I've already unplugged everything. This can't be possible. This isn't happening.
And so, the clippings that I found, they said when the ringleaders were sentenced to prison for other crimes, they were taken out of court, chanting some words, some spell, that would bring Lilith back through her children.
Doesn't that positively send shivers down your spine? I certainly won't be calling my firstborn Lilith. I hope you've had a wonderful evening enjoying Halloween with us once more. If you have enjoyed yourselves, then please do think about donating to the PayPal. To the PayPal coming along the screen. There it goes from left to right. There you are, there it goes. Yes. Of course, if you don't want to donate, a suggested donation of £5 to support arts in this difficult, hellish time. That's fine, but do be warned. One of our artists may appear in your bedroom late at night, asking for food. Just kidding.